Zoo, which is about 10 miles from here. This building and the Mission are the only two buildings that are still standing. It's also about 48% original. The rest has been lost to history. You are inside the parade grounds. The actual outer defenses are across the street where Ripley's and Fuddruckers are. So if you were here the morning of the attack, you'd be here sleeping. You'd hear their bugle. You've got a short time period to wake up, grab your weapon, run across the street for your first line of defense. Now, in 1821, Mexico gets its independence from Spain. In 1824, they create a new constitution, and what it does is it gives the Mexican people that were here similar rights that we enjoy in the States today. You could vote, you could marry, you could raise a family, you could choose your career field, and you could buy land. If you bought land here, 1824, you could buy it for 12.5 cents an acre, and you could use your American Express card. You could charge it. If you bought land in Louisiana, that's going to cost you 10 times the amount, and you had to have gold, cash up front. So the entire world is coming here to San Antonio. You get folks from Asia, from Russia, England, Ireland, Scotland, France, Wales, Denmark, as well as the United States. One of the guys that actually comes here to San Antonio is you, Jim Bowie. Jim Bowie comes here, takes a local pride, and you, sir, have got a beautiful house, and you've got 1 million acres of land. And you've got a knife. How happy are you? Life is good for Jim Bowie. But then 8 years later, Santana comes to power. Sees himself as the Napoleon of the West, a military dictator. He sends Congress home. The first thing he does is to eliminate the Constitution of 1824. So yesterday you could vote. Yesterday you had a house. Yesterday you had 1 million acres. But you still have your wife. How happy are you now? She has a knife too. The revolt begins. Ben Milam and his men attack San Antonio, and in 4 days' time conquer the city. Who is in here is a General Cos, C-O-S. He surrenders to Ben Milam with the caveat that he takes all his men and weapons and goes back to Mexico. So he does that. When he gets down to Mexico, he comes to Santa Ana. He says, General, these heathens have thrown your citizens out of your country. These rebels have thrown your soldiers out of your fort. And by the way, how's my sister? Ew. There's the rub, folks. Santa Ana is married to the sister of General Cos, who just surrendered. So now your name, your honor has been tarnished. Tossed in the mud. Your soldiers thrown out of your fort. Your citizens kicked out of your country. How happy are you? Meet Jim Bowie. It begins. Santa Ana vows vengeance on the Alamo. He brings 6,000 Green Beret troops from Mexico. These guys are hardcore dudes. They're about 5'1". They're carrying an 18-pound weapon. Everything they own is on their back. Santa Ana does not have a medical corps, did not even give the men tents. They're sleeping in snow, sleet, ice. They're forced marched to Texas. He gets here, splits his men, half go to Goliad, half come here. Surrounds the Alamo for 12 days, bombards it. Limestone, not much damage done, nobody is hurt. But during that time period, 20 men escaped to get messengers. Now, your men aren't that bad of shots. I think that if he could suck Houston in here with his 400 men, if he could bring Fannin in here with his 300 men, he would have the entire defense of Texas inside the Alamo with about 900 men. He could then bring his other 3,000 troops from Goliad over here with heavy artillery. So Santa Ana waits for 12 days. but nobody comes. Houston does not come, Bannon does not come. Only 32 men from Gonzales do. That brings the entire fighting force inside the Alamo to about 200, 220. What's out there? 3,000 Green Berets. He's getting reinforcements every single day. Who's in here? You are! And you! And you! No matter what your job is outside these walls, you would be in here. If you're a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, a farmer, an attorney, law enforcement, whatever your job is, you would be in here, an everyday hero. How old are you? You stand up. Please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, the youngest defender of the Alamo was only 1 year older than this young lady. 15. And you are never going to get your license. The oldest defender. I've got lots of choices. You, sir, you're 55, right? Right answer. You're 55. And you, sir, are the oldest defender. And if you are 55, I'm 48. I like that part of it. And I'm Davy Crockett. Davy Crockett got here 12 days before the battle. He and his men are out here in the Palisades area. That's the grass area in front of the actual mission itself. That's where Davy Crockett met his fate. Mr. Bowie, the day of the battle, you're having a bad day. And it gets worse. Jim Bowie is ill 3 days before the battle. We believe he had pneumonia. And the first hospital in North America was right there. Most historians believe that Mr. Bowie, you met your fate right above your head. William Travis was 26 years of age. He was in sole command at 26. Bowie gave his command to Travis when he became bedridden. He met his fate across the street over here in the North Federal Building. Now, a couple of real quick things before I start the movie.